Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to show you how do you import data from other files such as Excel or CSV into your R environment, and then after that how you look into the data structures and also some descriptive data for your data sets. So to begin with, there are a few ways you can look into how to import your data from using like files such as Excel or CSV. Let's start off with Excel. So the easiest way and the simplest or convenient way you can run with in this point is using RStudio, and as well as using the user interface that has been prepared by RStudio. So we go into import data sets, click on from Excel. It will run a window right in front of you and go for browse. For me, I'll browse here, and technically I'll have my data ran out here, and so I will grab my data from the place that I would like to have it. Then it will be, once you loaded up the data into the windows, it will show which is the best or the data set that you need. Technically I have multiple sheets in my Excel file, so I will have to choose the one that I need. For this time I'll use test of means, and I will suggest that every user should rename their data set based on what they understand. For me, I'll prefer using data 1. It's easy, and at least I can keep track of my data transformation with set 1, set 2, set 3, and so on. So once I've imported, and it should load the data set right here. So as you can see, here I have data of different columns. Number 1 is the number of individuals, and number 2 is the gender, the age group, breaking into 3 groups, and you'll see later, and time and stress level. So if you want to look at the summary of our data, you just type here summary and data 1. So technically, summary data 1. So technically, this in R we have to have a syntax whereby number 1 you have to type in your function followed by the data set. You have to open parentheses with the data set and comma, then only followed by the parameters you want. For this summary, I will have summary for data 1, and you will see that all the data summary for my data 1, whereby you see that individuals is 1 until maximum 20, and then gender will have 6 in character, and age group also in character, but we will change it later. For now, so we have another 2 more. Time and stress level is a number. That is why you have this minimum, maximum value, mean and median value. Is like a simple descriptive statistics. And so if we want to turn our gender and age group into factor, usually there is a way to change it automatically using the script. But if you import it directly by using Excel file or the user interface, you have to do it slightly manually. So in this case, I'll have data 1, and I'm subsetting it out for number 2 and number 3 column, which is the gender and age group, and I will put it as apply. I would like to apply the same thing 2 and 3 for factor. So I will factor. So technically that I wish to turn gender and age group into factor. So let's look at again summary data 1. So once you see that, alright, now gender and age group is in factor, because you can see that there are 30 female and 30 male adults, retiree and teenage, and in 20s. And so now we have our data grouped based in the proper characteristic that we want. You can also look at the structure of the data, str data 1, and you'll see that individual is in number, time and stress level is in number, only gender and age group is in factor. Aside from using this basic summary, we can also use another package called scheme R. So scheme R is a package where you can scheme your data. It provides a more detailed descriptive data for your data set. So let's go for scheme R, data 1. Let me drag this out a little bit right here, and you should be able to get the data. So what you can see here is scheme R package with the function scheme of data 1. What you see is that the first one is a basic data summary, whereby data 1 has 60 rows and 5 columns, explain the basic structure of the data sets. And it's also explain the structure or the characteristic of each column. For example, we have 2 factors and 3 numerics, as you can see here. 2 factors and 3 numerics. And what are the numeric factor? You can see it's a gender and age group with no missing data, complete 100% complete rate, and the breakdown of each factors. Like for example here, 30 male, 30 female, adult, retiree, and teenage, all in 20s. And for those with numbers, it shows the missing and complete rate, the mean and the standard deviation, which is better than the summary above. And they have P0 to P100, which is the minimum, maximum, and the quartile 1, quartile 2, which is a median, and a quartile 3. And right here you'll see there's a histogram. The histogram is another way of let you see a quick and dirty or easy, fast way to observe the data, and you should kind of using your visual observation, you understand whether the data is normally distributed or not. And if you want to look at how the data is distributed, then we should put in Shapiro test. So Shapiro test is Shapiro test data 1 and put a $sign to look into, let's say, time. So in this sense, our Shapiro test for normality is normally distributed for our time. And on the other hand, of stress level, then you should see that the data is less than 0.05, which means it is not normally distributed. And yeah, so this is how you look into the data structure of your basic data structure of your data sets. So let's recap. Number 1, we have to import the data. This followed by looking into the summary of the data, and you should see that the data have multiple different types of data. If it is number, it will automatically put it as number. If it is in alphabets, you put in character string. However, usually the character string, I highly advise that users should turn it into factor, like in here. So once you've turned it into factor, if you look into the structure, you should be able to see how they break down into number and factors. And to know further, you use a scheme R package with the function scheme. You should be able to look at the structure of and the descriptive data of your data sets for each column. And if you want to run normality tests for your data sets, you can always run it from using the Shapiro.test functions, and you should have an output whereby our main idea or main target will be this p-value. And that's all for today. Thank you very much. I'll see you later.